All right, how's everybody doing? This is the Comic Samurai. I want to welcome you to my next video, and tonight we're going to be doing another Let's Rank challenge. This is where we look at a run on a series and assign every cover a letter grade from A to F, and then pick our favorite and award it that special S tier ranking. And tonight we're going to be looking at Avengers Volume 2. Now this was part of Marvel's Heroes Reborn storyline that came out in 1996, where Marvel invited Jim Lee and Rob Liefeld to take over some of their flagship titles. And this is Rob Liefeld's take on the Avengers. So let's go ahead and jump right in. First up, we got this issue number 1, and when Liefeld introduced his team and new look of the Avengers, it caught my attention. I loved Captain America's new look with that more patriotic symbol on his forehead instead of that hokey A. You've got the Black Knight, who looks more like a superhero than he ever has. The Scarlet Witch, who finally had a look that I could identify with. I liked his take. You've got Thor there, and I loved Liefeld's reimagination of Thor, more of a warrior, less of a Superman look, but he kept that red cape, and that's important there. And there is a little bit of too much brown in the background for my taste, but I do like this cover. It introduced them, and this is how an issue 1 should be done. Just introduce those characters in the most dynamic splash image that you can do, and this one gets a very strong A. I like Liefeld's take on the Avengers. Next up, we got issue number 2 here. Now this one was already not done by Liefeld, so it's not looking good how deep he went into the series. He actually only did 6 issues, I think. But this one was done by Chap Yape, and it's just not up to Liefeld standards there. I did like the new look of Kang there, and how they incorporated the heroes into his helmet. That's an interesting thing there. But look at how Chap changed the symbol on Cap's forehead there. Liefeld's was so much cleaner there, and you've got this bent, tipped one, and look at how the wings on Cap's, the side of Cap's head, Liefeld made it look interesting and powerful and prominent there, and Chap's just look like bangs that are floppy or something. And see the difference in the symbol? How Liefeld's edges are nice and sharp and crisp, and it just looks like they're sagging on Chap's. I don't like this one much, and the best I can do is give it a C. But I did like this new version that they were taking the Avengers. It finally breathed some new life into those characters and gave them new looks. Next up is issue number 3, and again, this is not a Liefeld cover here. It is kind of an interesting image of the heroes fighting with Kang there, and they're flying through the air, and you've got these diagonal lines going across it. I do like the illumination on this one. It was halfway well done, but again, I don't know that I'd pick it up off the rack just because of this image. For that reason, I'm only giving it a C. Next up, we got issue number 4. Now, Liefeld returned on this one, and he put the Hulk front and center. When you say the Avengers, one of the founding members was the Hulk. And you've got him right in the middle there, but his hair is a little wonky there. I did like the inclusion from the edges of all the Avengers' weapons. You've got Cap's shield, the Black Knight's sword, Thor's hammer there, and Hawkeye's arrow coming in. Like all of the Avengers are fighting the Hulk. And their weapons do symbolize it, but they're a little oversimplified. I do like this image of the Hulk there. It's classic Liefeld, but it only rises to the level of a B. Not one of my favorite Hulk images, although I do like it. Next up, we got issue number 5, and here we've got Liefeld's take on a heads-up battle between Thor and the Hulk, and I like this. He's got such a way of drawing teeth and mouth that when you see it, it's instantly recognizable as a Liefeld image. Nobody does that kind of drawing like Liefeld, and I liked it. You can just see through the Hulk's mouth there, and the interior shadows are done right there. Sometimes they cut off the back cheek, but you can see a bit of it there. This is a great image. It caught my attention. I wanted to see the fight between these two heroes, and I bought this one off the rack, and I give this one a very strong A. Next up, we got issue number 6 here, and this one features all of the Avengers, including Iron Man. We got a new look at Iron Man there, and we've got the Thing here from the Fantastic Four. Now, this one was done by Churchill, and he started doing a lot more of the chores on this series at this point. But you've got these lights coming off of the Thing, and these bolts coming from Iron Man. Something about this didn't work. I don't like Iron Man's like big exhaust pipes that come out. Sometimes it can be a good look for Iron Man, but when there's smoke coming out of it, it's like all that fumes and stuff. I didn't like that image. For some reason, this one didn't work. I am an Churchill fan, But on this one, I can only give it a B minus. Borderline of a C. I did like the inclusion of the Fantastic Four. You get to see those two teams go up against each other. Next up, we got issue number 7. And this is another Churchill image. And I like this one. It's the villains. You got the Enchantress. You got a different version of Wonder Man. You've got the Executioner there. Ultron. And look at how evil Ultron looks. He really is skeeving. Sometimes they do him so big and undefeatable, but here he looks more like Loki or Mephisto or just a sneaking evil version there. Like he's maybe taking commands from the Enchantress right in the middle. I love this image. It's beautiful. It's one of my favorites. If you're going to do villains, do it like this. And this one gets an A from me. Next up, we got issue number 8, and this one was a weird one. It featured a Jim Lee image, and I like this one. The colors are a little off, a little too much tan, and a little too much purple in the background that never mix well. But I did like this image. It is beautiful. Captain America, drawn how he should be. I think Jim Lee has one of the best versions of Captain America. I really do like it. Now see how he included those exhaust ports on the back of Iron Man's armor? But instead of having gas come out of him or exhaust, he's got these shines come off of him like they're just part of his armor. I like that, the reflective shininess on it. You've got a beautiful image of Thor there, and he remembered to include his red cape. A lot of those ones before, they didn't include that red cape, and I think that that's necessary for the look of Thor in these superhero covers. If you're going to present him as a contemporary of Superman, he's got to have a cape for some reason for me, and I like this one. It works. Look at the reflections on the shield there. It's a beautiful image, and I'm giving this one an A. I love Jim Lee's tape. Next up, we got issue number 9, and this is where we started losing any of the mainstream recognizable art talent at the time. Walter Simonson had something to do with the writing, but all the big names were taken off of it. Look at how this one suffers from the tan brown background. The purple in the trade dress, I can't get over that. It's just hard to go from that beautiful Jim Lee art to this. I can't do anything better than a D on this one, and it is very, very lucky to get that. Next up, we got issue number 10 here, and oh man, they really started losing me at this point. Look at how they did a fold on the cover there. This is a gatefold cover, but when you fold it out, the image is not continued on that. It's an advertisement, and that is hard for me not to give an F right off the bat. This image, can it rescue it? No. It's a jumbled mess. Again, the colors of the purple and the yellow and the tan, I don't know why they are so prominent on all of these covers, those colors, and it just didn't work for me. When I look at this, the only thing that saves it from getting an F is the image of Hawkeye there. I did like his new costume, that leather brown look. I thought an Archer should be more like that. Robin Hood, green or brown, instead of that purple and blue that he's got. This, like I said, the only thing that saves it from an F is how they introduced Hawkeye on the cover finally. Next up, we got issue number 11, and this is an okay image. But something about the colors again. I didn't like those 90s colors. Why they keep sticking with that purple in the trade dress there. It just drives me crazy. With a yellow and a brown background, you've got those complementary colors that just do not mix well in my eye. It's an alright image with Captain America there. He's fairly symmetric there. I like his shield. It's alright there. But again, this one can't get anything better than a D because it's got that cursed black line there. It's another. You pay for a gatefold cover, but the image isn't continued. It's an advertisement. They're charging me extra for an advertisement. I can't do anything better than a D, and it's lucky to get that. Next up, we got issue number 12. And this is another one of those gatefold covers that just had an advertisement and then 3 pages of type that retold you the story up to that point. I'll show you what a waste of space it is. This is issue number 12, and they were only supposed to be 12 issues, but they ended up going 13. But look at this gatefold. That terrible ad is what they connected to the cover there. Does that work as an image at all? No. And on the inside, all you've got is all this text trying to keep you up to speed. Nobody wants to read a novel. If you did that, you go to the library and check out a book, for crying out loud. This is a comic book. I want the good art, the good pictures. I hate this, and I'm giving this one a very strong F. Nothing redeems it. Look at how messed up Thor's face is on the cover there. You've got that advertisement stripe cutting off the side. F, F, F. I hate that in a comic book. Next up, we got the final issue of number 13. And these are all connecting covers, but I was just so underwhelmed at this point. They were trying to introduce Wildstorm's characters there. You got the Wildcats on the cover here, and it did not work. I don't mind the style of the figures here. It's drawn by a very competent artist, but man, something about it, the characters of Marvel and Wildstorm do not mesh well. And look at how in the background they tried to get like the face of Doctor Doom and a scroll there, but they're so lost. All that art just covered up by the title trade dress, a waste. This is another one that used that gatefold cover gimmick and just had advertising on the inside. I'm not concerned at all to give this one an F. I think most people would agree. That is everything you don't want to do in a comic book cover. All right, next up I wanted to show this Heroes Reborn #1 half. Now this was a mail-away comic offered through Wizard magazine. You get the magazine and it'd have a coupon inside. You'd fill it out, mail them a check, and then 6 to 8 weeks later you'd get this comic in the mail. And this was how Marvel introduced the Heroes Reborn storyline. And I wanted to show this one because it's got a beautiful Rob Liefeld cover, and it introduces the characters that were in his Avengers run. This doesn't necessarily focus on the Avengers, and it wasn't titled The Avengers, but this is what introduced the storyline and where it all kicked off. It's mostly a text-based issue, so I didn't want to include it in the main run. And I'm not going to let it participate in the contest there, but I wanted to show it because this is a beautiful piece of Rob Liefeld art that introduced the Heroes Reborn storyline. All right, well now that we have them all graded, let's go ahead and take a look at the ones in the A tier and pick our favorite. Well, it appears that 4 of those issues made it into the A tier. We got issue number 1, number 5, number 7, and number 8, and they are all beautiful covers. We have 2 Liefeld's, 1 Churchill, 1 Jim Lee, and I really was excited when this series came out. I love this group shot here. I love the 2 heads up with Thor and the Hulk. I love the villains on the cover here, but Jim Lee's image of these heroes here is one of the most dynamic images of the Avengers I've ever seen. This issue number 8 really is one of my favorite images of the Avengers. I like Thor's redesigned costume there. It's a beautiful costume done by Jim Lee. He's got his red cape on, and look at how his hammer is spinning and illuminated there. We've got Iron Man with those ion fists. I just love the charging look and how they did that. They had finally got the computer colorization right on Iron Man's ion powers, and I like that. You've got Captain America there coming at the camera, and nobody can draw Steve Rogers, Captain America, like Jim Lee. This is a beautiful image, and although this was supposed to be a Liefeld-centric issue, Jim Lee captures the spotlight with this issue number 8. Well, thank you for joining me tonight. Let me know what other runs, artists, series, titles you want me to rank. Thanks again, and have a great night.